Hi everyone, today we're going to go through a problem-solving process that I'd like you to work through as you're working on this week's assignment. And the main reason we're doing this problem-solving thing is because this class does have a general education aspect to it. And because of that, we have to show that our students can problem solve. So I thought, why not find a real-life situation to problem solve as we work through this. And for this particular assignment, we're going to talk about AI in education. And you're going to create a blog post using this problem-solving process that I am going to then score on a rubric provided by GVSU, and then we'll go from there. So, what are the 4 steps to writing a good problem-solving response? Now, this is the problem-solving response that I used with my 3rd graders quite often when I was in the classroom. It can be adapted and adjusted at various levels, but the outline and the ideas presented, I think, do a really nice job of creating this problem-solving response or, reflection that you're going to be doing. So what are the 4 steps? Well, the first step is you're going to create a clear, insightful problem statement. And we'll go into each step a little bit more in depth as we get through this. The second step is to identify multiple approaches to solve the problem. The third step is to decide on the best problem solution of those that you thought about in the step before. And then at the end, evaluating your solution. I've said it before in class, I'm sure. I think of reflection and evaluation of our own selves as the very best tool we have as teachers to improve our teaching skills. Anytime you get done with a lesson or something, you should always be asking yourself, how did it go? Like, what could I do better? What didn't go so well? What could I change for next time? Did my kids get the learning target that I was shooting for? That's a really important tool that you have in your toolkit as a teacher, and that's also why we do weekly reflections as well. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into each one of these different steps. So step 1 is to write a clear and insightful problem statement. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to identify the problem first. Show that you clearly understand the issue or problem that you want to address. So talk about that. What is the problem? Identify it. What's the issue with it? The second part of step 1 is to state the impact. Explain why the problem is important and what its consequences are. So why is AI in the classroom an important topic that we should be discussing and reflecting on? And what consequences, good or bad, can there be with AI in the classroom? The third area of this particular step is to provide some context. Offer background information to help others understand the problem. We as educators obviously know about classrooms and AI in the classroom and what kind of things that can provide, but maybe other people who aren't educators may not know that. So offer some background information to help others understand why this is an issue or whatever. And then for this particular assignment, then taking all that information, that's going to be the first paragraph on your blog post as your assignment this week. How about step 2? Well, step 2 talks about identifying multiple approaches to solve the problem. So that's pretty straightforward, but let's just look into it a little bit more in depth. Here, what that really means is you're going to brainstorm as many ideas as you can about how this problem could be addressed or solved. And, this is kind of just shooting out those ideas. What are you thinking out? So you can write them down on a notepad. You can do whatever your particular way to brainstorm is. Might be different from someone else, but brainstorms a bunch of ideas about how that problem could be addressed or solved. During the time you're doing this, though, some things to think about. Think about some contextual, logical, ethical, or cultural factors that could influence the way the problem could be solved. Now, you know that there's some ethical considerations with AI. That's kind of one of the big things to talk about it. So this is where you'd kind of think about this type of information. Once you get done with that whole process and you have as many ideas as you can out there, narrow the list down to a minimum of 3 different ways that you could address the problem. So let's say you came up with 10 ways to solve it. Well, of those 10 ways, narrow it down to 3 that you think really could do the trick. And then that is going to be paragraph 2 for this particular blog post. Step 3, the problem solution. Again, pretty explanatory, but let's take a look at it a little bit deeper here. That basically means propose the solution from step 2 that you feel would best address the problem. So of all those things that you brainstormed, you narrowed it down to 3. Of the 3, which is the one that you feel would be the best way to address this particular problem or issue? And that is going to be paragraph 3 of your blog post. As part of that paragraph, include any information in your writing that shows or proves that you did think about all those contextual, logical, ethical, or cultural factors that may influence the way the problem could be solved. So just make that as part of your why this is the best solution that you can come up with for this particular problem. And then the fourth step, as we talked about a little bit earlier, is going to be to evaluate your solution. And basically, as a reflection piece, how did the process go for you? The problem-solving process that you just went through. Was it hard? Was it easy? Did it help you organize thoughts? Did it help you thoughtfully reflect on the problem? Did it help you consider solution feasibility and the impact of your solution? So how did the process of this problem-solving process go for you? And then that is, of course, going to be your evaluation process as paragraph 4. So that's going to be the fourth part of that particular blog post. So again, you'll have a 4 paragraph blog post that'll take care of this. And this is the information then that I will be using as evidence that we've done some problem solving in this particular class. I do have this information. This is a little bit different than what I'm providing in the actual assignment. But these are also some good links here, and I will add them into what we're doing. There is a couple, I want to say, yeah, I think I do have you read a couple of those articles, but I did come up with a few more current videos that could help you kind of figure out that. So, all right, so that's the assignment. I hope this makes sense to you. As always, if it doesn't, reach out. I'll be glad to help you as best as we can. But I hope you enjoy this kind of problem-solving process, and it's such a great tool to use with kids. So, okay, we'll talk to you soon.